Hello, 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 and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the launch of Hoshiyaar Heena. This is a brand new character who is coming into Tinkle, and this is in association with Google. And we have a really fun event planned for you guys. But by the way, my name is Pratik, and I would love to welcome you all again to the Hoshiyaar Heena launch event. Right. So a couple of things that we have in store for you today is we're going to be taking a slightly in-depth look at who Hoshiyaar Heena is, how she came to be, maybe seeing a couple of pages of her comic, right? And after that, we have a game for a lot of y'all, a Hoshiyaar Heena game right at the end. And in the middle, we have a small interview with the illustrator and Achachan, right? So illustrator is Sanjay Amayakar, and with Achachan, who, well, most of y'all know, or all of y'all know who Achachan is. So yeah, welcome. But what I want to know first, before we start, is has anyone read the Hoshiyaar Heena comic? You can let me know in the comments below, right? If you have read the Hoshiyaar Heena comic, if y'all kind of know a little bit about Hoshiyaar Heena, and if y'all don't worry about it. Y'all are going to go get to know a lot about her by the end of this event. Right. So hi, I can see a lot of people are saying hello. Hi everyone. I'm excited as well. Right. Okay. So a little bit of background on Hoshiyaar Heena itself, right? So basically, this year in 2022, Google, right, as part of their Women's Day effort, as part of their Google search, they came up with a character called Hoshiyaar Heena, right? And this character has a beautiful, lovely backstory on how she came to be, right? And there was a really lovely ad which was created for it, and I am going to show you that before we move ahead. Ad is going to play. I hope you all can all see this, and there we go. Sorry, everyone. Sorry, everyone. A little bit of an issue on the streaming. I'm going to try that once more, right? For all of you all watching, I'm going to try that once again. Just a second, just a second, just a second. Yeah, this should be fine now. So that is the backstory of Hoshiyaar Heena. It was the brainchild of a teacher who was trying to promote equality, that boys and girls both can be smart, right? I think we all agree with that, that there is, I mean, being smart is no one gender or no gender's prerogative, right? It's not specific to a gender. And that is how basically Hoshiyaar Heena, the thought of Hoshiyaar Heena came to be. That was Hoshiyaar Heena, that was the look and feel that Hoshiyaar Heena had, right? And post that, right, we started talking to them, and basically Tinkle and Google came together to create Hoshiyaar Heena stories in the comic format, which is now available on the website, right? So you can just go to tinkle.in and you can just type Hoshiyaar Heena over there in the search bar, and you'll be able to read her comic. Or you could pick up a Tinkle comic from like the magazine from your bookstores, and Hoshiyaar Heena will be there in the June issue. As well as if you like reading on the app, right, which a lot of y'all do, you can just pick up the comic, the Tinkle magazine for this week, right? The June 1st week magazine, the digital edition. You can pick that one up, and Hoshiyaar Heena is there as well. If you're not being able to find Hoshiyaar Heena through all of this by some chance, all you have to do is go to Google, right, and search for Hoshiyaar Heena Tinkle, right? If you just search for Hoshiyaar Heena Tinkle, the Tinkle website with the tag Hoshiyaar Heena will show up, and you will be able to read the comic right there. All right. So, do you all want to see a little bit of the story? Should I give you a sneak peek if you haven't already seen it? Yeah. Okay. So, let's take a look at a couple of pages of Hoshiyaar Heena's comic, which has come out in June, right? This is the first story. We're going to be coming up with many, many, many more stories in the next few months as well. So, let's check out the first story. There we go. That is Hoshiyaar Heena. I'm going to put up the banner at the bottom so you can see it a little more clearly, right? So, that is the first comic of Hoshiyaar Heena, right? Episode 1 is known as The Sphinx, right? So, in the first episode, as you can see, one day Heena and her friends are, playing, and someone comes running to her. Heena, you have to come quickly to the park. It's Roshan. Oh, not again, Hoshiyaar Heena says. They go to the park and they see that Roshan is standing there with his big dog and saying, I am the Sphinx. No one will pass here without my permission. Hoshiyaar Heena quickly transforms into Hoshiyaar Heena and activates her superpower. And she asks him to let them through now. And the Sphinx basically says, absolutely not. You think you can beat the mighty Sphinx? Yes, I can. Prepare for battle. Battle? You are no match for me, Heena. No. Not a battle of bronze, Sphinx. A battle of brains. Sphinxes love riddles, right? Yes, and no one is better at riddles than me. Let's go. Ladies first. So, Heena thinks, she checks up on Google, and she says, oh, Roshan, that's so old school. Don't you know that we are all equal? You can go first. And Roshan says, fine, whatever. Here's my riddle. What starts with P and ends with E and has thousands of letters in it? Hoshiyaar Heena doesn't even have to think about it. That's why she's Hoshiyaar. Ha! Too easy. Post office. It starts with a P, it ends with a E, and has thousands of letters in it. Okay, you got that. Now, it's my turn to answer. What's your riddle? Okay, Roshan. I am light as air, but not even the strongest person in the world can hold me for more than 10 minutes. What am I? What? If you're light as air, then why should it be difficult to hold you? Is it, cotton? Nope. Paper? Nope. A feather? Nope. Give up yet? No. Wait. Think. Now, do you want to know if Roshan found the answer? Right? And do you think that Hoshiyaar Heena and her gang were able to get through to the park? You're going to have to find out by reading the comic on the website, right? It's a free read. You all can go and read Hoshiyaar Heena's first episode, which is the Sphinx and how she defeats the Sphinx, and find out for yourself. I can see there are a few comments. Well done. Okay, lovely. Now, Hoshiyaar Heena, when she first came to be, right, we were informed by the Google team that they had collaborated with some amazing artists. Oh, I can see some people are saying we want to know. Yes, okay. So if you want to know what happens next in the story, you all can head on over to tinkle.in, right? That's our website, tinkle.in, and just type over there Hoshiyaar Heena in the search box at tinkle.in, or you can go to Google and search for Hoshiyaar Heena Tinkle, and you will be able to find the magazine there, free to read. Or you could go to the app, check it out over there, or you could buy a Tinkle comic or a Tinkle magazine from your bookstalls, and read the comic over there as well. All right, so let us move on. So yes, I was telling you all about Hoshiyaar Heena. Basically, they brought her to life in multiple forms. So they opened it out to illustrators and artists, right, from across the country to get their representation of what they think of Hoshiyaar Heena, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly share some of those uh, artworks, right? I hope you can see my screen. Yes, you all should be able to see my screen. So this is an artwork which was created by Pranit Art, right? Which is until you learn to respect your boundaries, nobody else will. Hoshiyaar Heena is seen with a satchel saying "Boundary Queen," right, with a small crown on top, and she is drawing her own boundaries with a massive pencil. Yeah. So she wishes to set an example for other girls to speak louder, be curious, and design a life that they truly desire to live. I think that's absolutely fantastic, right? It's absolutely amazing. All right, let's look at the next one, which is with Kida Kari, right? This is Hoshiyaar Heena, the very cool grandmother, right? I think that is absolutely fantastic. Age is just a number when you are young at heart, right? Age cannot limit your success. That is fantastic. So this is Hoshiyaar Heena Dadi, who sets an example that age is not just a number. Next, we have from Fatima Hakim, right? So she basically, her superpower, she created Hoshiyaar Heena that looks like this and has weapons and has a shield. And she's basically slashing boundaries, speaking up for the right things, fighting patriarchal traditions, inspiring girls everywhere to do the same. And her superpower is her voice. And she raises it for every woman's right to education, hygiene, and equality everywhere. I think that's absolutely amazing. Next, we have a collaboration that they did with Neha Doodles, right? So this is her version of Hoshiyaar Heena, right? Who is able to talk to animals, has a very cool sidekick, and brings to life whatever she draws, right? So this is her checklist. This is instead of because she can't fly, she rides a scooter. I think that's very cool, right? Next, we have with Potato Face, right? So this is her version of Hoshiyaar Heena, right? Her version of Hoshiyaar Heena is a woman who is fierce, trying to achieve her dreams at work, but at home she is raw and unapologetically herself. A woman who is without makeup, wearing her old pajamas with a hot bag in her hand for period pain, messy hair bun, and dark circles on fleeks. So yes, you're right. Dark circles, right? So her superpower is to be her true, authentic self, right? And be fierce and intelligent when fighting her battles. I think that's absolutely that's really fierce. That's quite original, and I think it's fantastic. And last but not the least, we have the association with Alicia Souza, right? So this is Alicia Souza's version of Hoshiyaar Heena, frizzy hair, powers of the imagination, funky sidekick, and of course, a magic pencil, right? So this is her version of Hoshiyaar Heena. So these are the various collaborations that Google did in March and in April, right, for Hoshiyaar Heena, right? Uh, but now I would like to introduce you to two very special people, right? One of them is Achachan, who y'all know, who y'all have spoken to, who y'all have met online as well. And the second is Sanjia Mayekar, who essentially drew Hoshiyaar Heena in her current form. She is the illustrator of Hoshiyaar Heena in the Tinkle Magazine. And we're going to have a quick conversation with the both of them to figure out how they came up with the storylines, how they came up with the look, and yeah, where is Hoshiyaar Heena going next? So, inviting Achachan and Sanjia to uh, the stream. Achachan?
Hi.
Hi,
Hi,
Sanjia.
hi,
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 Achachan. How are
Pradeep.
you doing?
Hi, Satya. How are you guys doing?
Hi. Great.
Good.
How are you
Are you
all?
excited about Hoshiyaar Heena now that Hoshiyaar Heena is
Yes,
Yes,
finally launched?
very.
Yes. It's finally out. She's finally out there and doing her thing, and we couldn't be happier.
Nice. Okay, so I have a few questions for all for y'all, right? If you're okay with telling us a little bit about how this entire thing came up, what was the thought behind it, and where Hoshiyaar Hina is going next. So, Achachan, let's start with you. The Tinkle team basically came up with the stories and the script. So, how did you all go about thinking about Hoshiyaar Hina, about how her stories would go, and what her superpowers were going to be like?
So when the Google team came to us with this character, we were very excited because Hina sort of stands for everything that we're trying to do in Tinkle nowadays, in terms of having a strong female protagonist who is, like not afraid to be herself, who is quick-witted, who's charming, who's funny, who has a solution for everything, and more importantly, serves as a role model for young girls out there. You know, the entire idea, that ad that they made, really like connected. Like, why do you not? Why do we not have female heroes in history like Birbal and Chanakya and so on and so forth? And for us at Tinkle, we've always, like considered uh, having strong female characters is something that is just uh, we have to do, like, which is why we have our own in-house characters like Wingstar, and we have Aisha and the Super Weirdos, or we have Bala from the Yodas, or even for that matter Ina Mina Mina Mo, and how they deal with their daily life. So Hina just completely fit into the Tinkle universe, like organically. Like, she makes perfect sense for what we stand for as a brand at Tinkle. And the idea of then developing this character, and like what are the sort of like problems that she'll face, and what are the sort of like obstacles that she'll face, and if she was like your everyday superhero, then what are the everyday like sort of challenges that she's sort of coming through. And we did want to also focus on how like her imagination is so strong, because I feel with children, the power of imagination is such a wonderful tool, and it's a power that, like, as we grow older, we tend to sort of like lose touch with. Like, I'm very blessed that way, that I get to work in a field where I have to use my imagination on a daily basis. But I do know, like, a lot of adults out there, like, aren't like, wouldn't see themselves as imaginative, or wouldn't see themselves play act, or and that was something that I was very like keen on, like bringing to Hina as a character, in terms of like how she sees the world. So in the comics, also in the first comic that you saw, like, like, it's a very simple interaction that you're seeing on the playground, but in Hina's imagination, she's seeing him as the actual Sphinx, and sees herself as a superhero. And I feel like every child out there should see themselves as a superhero and the hero of their own story, right? So yeah, like, so all of that, and like, it's just like how it's like, how she's quick, and she's quick-witted, and like she uses that intellect, and with a little help from Google and Google search, she's able to take on anything. And I think that's the other thing with this character, is that how she uses Google and Google search is like this, her weapon. Like, how Batman has his utility belt, like Hina has the power of Google search, like, in her pocket, right? And
Right.
it's that's also something I could really relate to, like, from, because I use Google for everything. Like,
Right.
anytime I'm in doubt, or like, like whatever it is, like, like, where you have to, even like learning how to like draw, or like how to do like work with like design softwares or editing. StreamYard, for example, we learn through Google. If the
That
people
is
remember,
true. Yeah,
right?
we did.
So yeah, so like, it's like, don't be afraid to search for answers on Google, is something I think is a very good important message to put out there for future generations.
That
So
is that is absolutely true, and I know this. Recently, I think we didn't have internet, or we were traveling somewhere. We were in the car, and some like basically a conversation, like conversations do, right? And some random fact was thrown into that conversation of someone who had read something, or read an article somewhere, and they couldn't remember either the reference, or they couldn't remember, and we were like, oh, let's quickly Google for it, and we were like, oh no, we don't have network, what are we going to do? Right, so
it's like, oh my
literally
god,
we made a, yeah, right.
what
So
did
yeah, it
people do
has.
like 15 years ago? Like, how did they live? Like, it's got to that.
It's got to that, and it is, you're right, it's a superhero in our pocket, right? For all practical purposes,
Yeah,
it's that. library in a
It
phone.
is. It is. It is. I think like the real world version of the bad computer. Like or like
Yeah,
any sort of
yeah,
like that magic computer that like you'd see like people in the FBI sitting and like typing away. Google can do that. Like
yeah.
if you want like
And
any
Hoshiyaar
information like.
Hina, yeah,
So
and
it's
no, and
about like
Hoshiyaar
how
Hina,
she uses
it's,
that. Like I
yeah,
mean, it's not just that she does a search and she's done with it. She uses that creatively and like she has her own ideas and like Google is that like like just to help make her ideas better.
She
yeah,
knows
So
what
it's
to search for, basically.
yeah,
That's
and
the
she's
yes,
very
thing.
good at keywords. Her
yeah.
keywords
She's
like
very good
skill
at
is on fleek,
keywords.
to quote one of the Instagram posts. But
Lovely.
yeah,
Okay. Thanks so much for that, Achachan. Moving to Sanjaya. Sanjaya, tell us a little bit about the process with which you thought about the look and the feel and how this character should come to life, as well as talk a little bit about the logo that you came up
Yeah, so it was very important for Hina to look Indian and to have Indian children relate to her. And I did base Hina of the look that you saw in the beginning that Google came up with. They gave me that reference. So I really liked the way she looked in that, in the sense she wore a kurti and she had bangles in her hand, and she looked like a regular kid, yet she had that iconic look with with the pink spectacles. And I think we need more bespectacled heroes. We have like protagonists, especially cool protagonists who are bespectacled. So I kept those on, and yeah, so that was the
I'm
thought
going to
behind
just
the
share.
regular Hina. Yeah.
I'm going to share a image that you had shared with us of
Yes,
a couple of
of the
looks of
character
Hina,
design.
right? If you can just talk to us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so as I said, she looks very Indian. She is wearing Indian clothes. She has bangles. She has a satchel that she carries along with her. I think
Hmm.
we are yet to discover what she carries exactly in it, but I'm sure it's something handy. And it's that those iconic specs, I think, that make her look distinguished. Uh, yeah, so this is the regular Hina, of course, and then we
Yeah,
have the superhero version of her, which is essentially a figment of her own imagination. But I also designed that keeping in mind that she should look Indian. So if you
right.
glance at the superhero costume, it would probably look like a salwar suit if you look at it from afar, if you see the comic page.
Hmm.
Her costume is could look like a kurti, and the cape around her could be a dupatta. But then when you look closely, it's actually a superhero costume. She also wears slacks and she also wears mojris for shoes. Uh, and the logo, of course, is the Roman alphabet H and the Devanagari script He. So basically representing both the official languages of our country. So yeah, and
Nice.
I also used blue as I've used all primary colors for her costume, but blue is the major color over here because uh, blue is a cool color. It is often associated with intelligence and knowledge. And Hina is a cool superhero. She's not very aggressive. She is calm
Right.
and she thinks about, she is knowledgeable. She thinks about the situation before acting upon it. So yeah, that I felt that blue really represents her well. So that was the thought behind creating drawing a character.
That is absolutely fantastic. I saw some comments, right? There is Divya Agarwal who has said she dresses up like me,
Oh
right?
wow.
And Damini has said, love her pink specs, right?
Awesome.
And there is someone who earlier said, I think a girl, yeah, Vidita Mehta said, I think a girl we can all relate to, right? So I think it's absolutely fantastic what y'all have done, and I for one can't wait for new stories. If this is the first story, then we still have a lot of stories to go, and I can't wait to see what her next escapade or her next adventure is going to be. Right. So thank you so much for that, Achachan. Thank you so much for that, Sanjaya.
Thank
If
you.
we are basically like Hoshiyaar Hina is smart and she uses her wits to essentially get by. We are going to be playing a small game with the audience, and Achachan, I mean, if you're game for it, and Sanjay, if you're game for it, it's going to be a short game, right? If you'll have 5 minutes, let us get to
Yeah,
the game.
sure.
Sure, we'll
Yeah.
try.
Okay, cool. So we have a really cool game which we're playing for Hoshiyaar Heena, and all of y'all basically you're going to be answering in the comments. Hoshiyaar Heena is smart. She is funny. She is punny. She is brave, right? And she is extremely knowledgeable, right? And as part of that, we basically decided let's do for the launch event, let's do a really fun word game of a concept which I hadn't heard about before we actually started doing this game, right? We have used these words in our lives, but I didn't know that there was a term for them before I started doing the game. And that term is a contronym. Does anyone know what a contronym is?
Not
Anyone in the
me.
audience? Sanjay?
No.
Achachan? I know that you will know. Editor,
I know what
Kuku,
a, should
and
I say
everything.
what a contronym is?
Yes, we would love it if you would let us know what a contronym is.
So a contronym is basically a word that has almost that can be used in two ways, and the ways it's used can be diametrically opposite to each other.
Okay. So basically, a word which is used in the same word is used as in two opposing ways. Is that what
Yes.
it is? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's that. I mean that's absolutely correct. Thank you for that, Achachan. But let's take an example. Okay, let's do a trial word, and then we'll get into a few uh, actual words. Right. So I'm going to be giving you all two meanings for the word, and y'all need to tell me what the word is. Okay, so this is just a trial round. Meaning number one, a solid mass that is part of the Earth's surface. And meaning two, to move or impact strongly. Right? Audience, this is your Hoshiyaar Heena moment. Right? These are going to be your Hoshiyaar Heena moments. So, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? What do y'all think?
Oh God. My vocabulary is really bad. So.
Okay, so
um,
Damini is ready. Damini, what do you think? Meaning number one is a solid mass that is part of the Earth's surface, and meaning number two is to move or impact strongly. It is used, I'll give you a clue on this one. It is used in relation to boats sometimes, which swing very wildly. Or for babies to put them to sleep. Okay, so I can see Sanjay is very confused, right? The word which we are looking at over here is rock, right? So rock is something that is steady, right? And the other meaning of rock is rocking of the boat, or rocking the cradle, or just rock. No, so it's a type of music as well. All right, okay. So I hope that is clear to all of you all out there. Let's move on to our actual words. I have 5 words for y'all, right? Five different words. So let's see if you can get these. Number one. Meaning number one is to look at something carefully and in a detailed way. Meaning number two is to read through something briefly and quickly. Meaning number one is to look at something carefully and in a detailed way. And meaning number two is to read something briefly and quickly. It's the same word that means both these things. They're used in both of these contexts.
So you let me know when I can take a guess, sir.
Yeah. So I will give you all a clue before that, right? A clue is multifunctional printers have this as well. Right?
Sanjay, no
Multifunctional
guesses?
printers.
the clue is confusing me even more.
Divya is
Okay.
saying run through. That's a good guess, Divya, but no, that is Sakshi Gaikwad has given us the correct answer. Sakshi says
Can.
it is scan. Absolutely correct, Sakshi. Well done. I'm going to give you a virtual round of applause. Well done. Right. All right, so Sakshi, well done. You got it. After which, Kritika and Divya both have mentioned it. After that, well done to you all as well. Okay, let's move to our second question. Second question is, oh, scan was the answer. Right. Second question. Meaning number one, stayed behind. Meaning number two, gone.
Oh, I know this. Finally.
Yes, it's okay. Sanjay, you can tell us. It's fine. It's fine.
Left.
Left. You want me to go a little more left?
Left the
I'm sorry
answer.
about that. Yes, left is absolutely correct. Well done,
Oh,
Sanjay.
finally.
Right, super job, super job. I'm going to give you also a virtual uh, clap. Right, if any of you all got it in the audience, yes, Kritika, you are asking me left. Yes, left is the correct answer. All right, let's move to our next word. Meaning number one, to put a bit of powder on something. Meaning number two, to remove dirt from a surface. To put a bit of powder on something, to remove dirt from a surface.
I have to say though, when I do this, I don't remove the dirt, I just spread it around.
Yeah, possibly.
Very hard to
can
remove
can
this
can
act.
that dirt? Yeah, can that dirt really leave?
Yeah,
Acha,
no.
acha.
In Bombay, in Mumbai though, I don't think it just spreads around and
Yeah,
settles. That's a
and
huge clue
settle.
there. Settles. Ah, there
Yeah,
you go. People are
and
getting.
there we have Kritika. Kritika Nair has said dust.
Dust.
Right. Well done. Yes, dust is basically in this context. It is all three things. It is to put something like you dust something with you dust it with a powder of some sort. Second
Like in
is you
baking.
remove dirt from a surface. You're dusting, right? You're dusting around the house. And last but not the least, the thing that you are dusting off that house is dust, right? Essentially. So yeah, I am currently in Goa. So for me, dust is replaced with sand. But yeah, that's essentially what it is. Let us move to our next contronym. Okay, let's move to our next contronym. Our next contronym, oh, is not dust. Dust, I made a big flare about it, but no, that was the answer. The next contronym that we have is meaning number one of the contronym is to attach, and meaning number two is to remove from the ends or trim. Right, meaning number one is to attach, meaning number two is to remove from the ends or trim. Yes, Damini, you got
Answer.
this, come on. Anyone. Okay, clue time. Achachan, do you have a clue for this?
I actually don't know what the answer is here. I'm also thinking, what is this?
Okay, so the clue for this is that it is something that people use in their hair as well.
Shampoo? Oh
To
no.
attach.
Clip.
Sajid,
Clip.
clip. Clip is
No,
the
but
correct answer.
oh,
Absolutely. When you clip things together, that is meaning number one. Or when you clip a plant or you clip something, right? That is meaning number two, to remove from the ends or to trim. Well done. So the answer was clip, right? Yes. One more for you. Well done. Next, I think this is our last one. No, second last one. Second last one. Okay, the next one. Meaning number one, to secure or fasten something. And meaning number two, to run away fast. Well, I added the fast, right? But to run away. To secure or fasten something or to run away.
I have a clue for this.
You have a clue
Let
for
me know when
this?
it's clue time.
Is it a movie?
Yeah, it is a movie. It's a
Yeah.
cute movie.
It's a very
It's an
cute movie.
animated movie about a superpowered dog.
why
Nobody
Come
in the
can't
on,
you
come
audience?
tell the
on,
name?
Like,
come
I've
on.
seen
I
that
think there is a
movie.
lag. I think there is a lag in the audience to people actually answering. I'm hoping that's what it is.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, Sanjaya, any
It's at the tip
guesses?
of my tongue. It's not coming out.
There's somebody in the
Yes,
audience.
Ascoril. Right. Well done.
Oh
Bolt
yeah,
is
bold.
the correct answer. Right. Well done. We're going to give Ascoril a round of applause. Right. Frames and pixels
Yeah.
reaction also. Well done. Well done. Super. Right. And we move to our last one. Move to our last one, which is, oh, not Bolt, which is meaning number one every single time. Meaning number one, a journey mostly for leisure or fun. And meaning number two, to stumble on something and or fall down.
This one's easy. Come on. This one's very easy. I think the audience should get this very, very easily.
A journey mostly for leisure or fun, vacation, to stumble on something or to fall down. I vacationed on a rock. No, it's not vacation. That means okay.
Okay, I
Oh,
know
Ascoril
this.
is Dhanyata. Dhanyata, well done. Super job, Dhanyata. Okay, a journey
Are
for
people still on the
leisure.
previous question? Because
No, no, no. It's just coming
okay,
in. I think that the things are coming in just a little later.
I know this, but I won't say.
Don't say it yet. Let's see if people are getting it. Sarika, basically, both of the meanings are for the same word, right? Getaway. Okay, the Damini is saying getaway. It's a good. It's actually a very good contronym, right? It's not this particular contronym, but it's a very good contronym because a journey mostly for leisure or fun, that is a getaway, right? And a getaway is also when you commit a crime and you escape, right? So
So
it
that's a
is a
journey
trip
that's
for,
not pleasure or fun.
yeah, it's a journey which is a pleasure of fun and a very stressful journey at the same time. Well done. It's not the one which we are looking for in this particular one, but it is a great contonym, Damini. Well done. Okay, so Sanjaya,
What's the
I
answer
don't think
here,
you
though?
guys are
What's the
getting
answer
this.
here?
Yeah,
Trip,
I don't think these guys are getting it. So Sanjaya,
Sanjay, let's hear
trip.
it.
It's trip.
it's
Yep.
trip, and trip is the correct answer. Sanjaya, well
Very
done.
good.
Super job. I went for a
And
trip
Sanjana has
on
given
the
an example of the
mountains
comments.
and tripped on a rock. Yes, Sanjana, absolutely correct. Right, we give you a round of applause for that as well. Super job. All right, so that brings us to the end of our contronyms, right? And that brings us to the end of our event as well, right? So before we actually go, right? Uh, what I want to tell all of y'all is please, please, please go and read Hoshiyaar Heena, right? It's a really fun comic. It's short. It's just 4 pages, and you already read the 2 pages today over here. So you only have 2 more pages to go, right? So you can access Hoshiyaar Heena in a bunch of different ways. It's in the Tinkle print magazine, it's in the Tinkle digital edition, and it is a free to read on the Tinkle website. Right. So all you have to do, you can access it in many different ways. You can go to the Tinkle website, which is www.tinkle.in, scrolling down right now, and search for Hoshiyaar Heena in the search box. Right. Or you could go to the Tinkle app, right, and read it in the digital edition, or you could click on the banner and go to the website and read it over there. And last but not the least, you could just go to Google and search for Hoshiyaar Heena Tinkle, right? The
Because
Tinkle
that's what
website link will come
Hoshiarina
up.
would.
That's what Hoshiar Hina would do. Exactly. Know what to search for and search for it well. So she can go, you can go, she cannot go, you can go and read the comics on the website. It is absolutely free to read, and all the comics of Hoshiar Hina are going to be free to read for the next many months. So I hope that you all will be able to read Hoshiar Hina. You'll have fun. And do let us know in the comments on the app, or you know, on the website. Do let us know what you think of Hoshiar Hina. And yeah, I hope you'll have fun. I hope all of you will find the Hoshiar Hina within you. Yeah. So thank you so much, Achachan. Thank you so much, Sanjaya, for
Thank
being
you for having
here.
us.
Yeah. And I hope to see you all soon. Sanjaya, looking forward to more of your art. Achachan, looking forward to more stories.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. And before I leave, I'm going to play the teaser for y'all one more time. Right? You can see the teaser for Hoshiyaar Heena and then go and read her comic after that. All right. Thank you so much. And Divya, thank you so much. Right? That made my day. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Ta-da.